they would shout like hello. It's like the one word in English that they know, and it was very strange. Like, when I got to England, it was actually really weird. I said to my boyfriend, like,
Hello.
hi.
Yeah. So how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, same here.
How have you been since I think December?
It
Yeah.
might be
No,
December,
January. Yeah.
January. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been doing good. I'm doing well. Yeah. How have you been doing?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you. I think the last time we spoke, I was in Argentina. And now I'm in England, just visiting like my family and my friends and stuff. And then in July, I'll be heading to Australia.
So, when did you come to England?
At the beginning of May.
Beginning of May.
So the
Yeah.
beginning of last month. It's been
So,
about 6 or 7 weeks so far.
so how is weather there? Like, how have you been there in England?
Really good, except I got COVID. Last week I had a coronavirus, unfortunately. Um, 2 whole years I've been traveling the world, never got it, come to England, get corona. Um, but other than this, it's been amazing. It's so nice to see my family and my friends again, because it was like nearly a year and a half since I last saw them.
So still there is Corona in England, right?
Oh yeah, it's but no one cares. There are no rules here, none. Even if you have COVID, you can still go and do whatever you want if you wanted to. I didn't, because I wasn't willing to infect someone else. But there are no rules here.
Same here in India right now. Yeah, like no one cares about Corona, and
No.
yeah, things look normal. So I am happy that things look normal. It is not like before, like in 2020 or 20, there was panicking situation everywhere. But yeah, now it is not.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, last year there was a period of time, or the year before, actually. I don't remember. Was it last year? There was a period of time when it was really a serious situation in India.
Yes.
So I'm glad that it's moved past that. Do you have any rules left?
No, no, we don't have any rules now. Everything is like before COVID, and yeah, there is no restrictions.
It's madness, isn't it? How we go from one extreme to another, isn't it?
Yes, yes, we have been
So
through this extreme.
yeah, from lockdowns, and you can't go anywhere, you can't see anyone, you can't talk to anyone, to doing everything that you life pretty much going back to how it was before. It's insane.
Yes, yes. So, like, your next plan is to visit Australia. Like, it is first time you are going to Australia, or you have been there before?
I've been there before.
Yeah. So, I think it is quite familiar to you. You are going into same town or different?
Last time we were there, we visited 3 different places. We went to Perth, Sydney, and Queensland. We only spent like 2 weeks in Perth. I think we spent maybe maximum a month in Sydney, and then we spent the rest of the time, the rest of the 4 5 months in Queensland. Um, but definitely we will be going back to Sydney. It's where my boyfriend's best friend will be as well. So it was where we'll go first. If we move, we move, but that's kind of the plan for the moment.
Have you been to Asia?
Yeah, I lived in Thailand for just under a year and a half. And I also visited Malaysia and Myanmar while I was there, and Turkey, if you count Turkey as Asia. But but I didn't get a chance to visit anywhere else other than these. But definitely in the future, I will be going back to Asia and visiting all the other countries that I've missed because I love Asia.
So, like you mentioned about Turkey, right? So, Turkey is like their culture is not Asian at all.
Asian,
So
no.
that's why I don't count it Asian country. Like I know it is Asian and half European, but
Half European.
yeah, but the culture and things just European. So yeah,
Yeah, it's like I think like
yeah,
70% in Asia, but yeah, I think a lot of people in Turkey would class themselves as European.
yes,
So, but yeah, it's quite, it's an unknown ground when you're referring to Turkey because of the divide, but geographically. But yeah, I do love Asia. Have you? I think I remember you have been to. Was it Nepal? I think you said you'd visited.
yes. I've been to
Um,
Nepal.
and I remember the wanted to go to with South Africa. Is that still the case?
Yes. You remember everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's um I just love traveling. I really do. I think it's just an experience like no other, You learn about new cultures, new people, new languages, and you can read about it in books and look at it online as much as you want, but until you're there experiencing it, like it's a whole other world.
Right. Yeah. Uh, so I can see that you have been visiting different countries, and you have quite experience now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
have you ever uh, you know have you ever found any difficulties in any country because of you are not the citizen of that country?
I would say the country maybe where I faced the biggest challenges was probably Argentina. My boyfriend is from Argentina.
You have told.
Yeah. So we went there to visit his friends and family, but we were living in quite a small city and it was very uncommon for people to speak English. Um, and I was much more immersed in groups of people, like large groups of people, my boyfriend's family, and they didn't speak English. And I am learning Spanish, but my Spanish is not, I'm a beginner. So it was really, really difficult for me some of the time, like to go anywhere or do anything because, well, people wouldn't speak English. And without my boyfriend, my Spanish kind of wasn't good enough if people were engaging in conversation. By the end, we were there for 7 months. By the end, I'd learned a lot, but I would say that was the hardest for me because I desperately wanted to understand these people and I couldn't. And it was hard for me um, to be with these people who I wanted to speak to and I couldn't.
I can understand. because I'm imagining about this situation if somebody would come from Europe, like who speaks English in my city, in this town, okay? And if they would like to communicate with the locals, yeah, they will find lots of challenges, definitely. Even people will, gauge them in different eye. Like for them, it would be totally a new thing.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. It was funny because I used to like literally be walking down the street, and I have to admit I do speak quite loud. um and people would literally turn around and stare at me, like, like, where is that coming from, kind of thing. And people would hear me, and they would shout like hello. It's like the one word in English that they know. And it was very strange. Like, when I got to England, it was actually really weird. I said to my boyfriend, like, people aren't staring at me. It's really strange. I like it. It's nice. I was so used to people just staring at me all the time, because it was so unusual for a foreign person to be in their city, let alone living there, you know? So it was very funny. My boyfriend speaks fluent English. So, we would be speaking fluently in English, and then he would turn around and speak to someone in Spanish. And it was a bit like, people were a bit, whoa, this is so weird. So it's nice
Yeah.
to not be stared at, though.
Yes. Yeah. But if you have kind of traveler spirit, then you have to be prepared for everything, right? Because you can find challenges anywhere, not about like particular country, particular place. Yeah. So people are good, people are weird everywhere. Just you have to be okay with everything.
Yeah. I would say that I visited, like, during my travels, like places that I've been living, with the best English overall, like, or like a lot of people can speak at least a little bit, is Thailand. Because they thrive off of tourism. And I would say even the locals, they can say a few words. They know the vocabulary they need to. They work in a restaurant, they know English for restaurants and not much more. In Mexico, really, like, there were some people that spoke incredible English. And if you went just a little bit away from like the main strip kind of thing, where the bars and restaurants are, none. No one spoke any English. But Thailand, I would say, generally overall, most people could speak even a little bit. In Costa Rica, no one. Colombia, very little as well. And Argentina, where I was living, almost no one. So I would say, yeah, Thailand probably had the best general little bits of English overall.
So yeah, even now, if you come to India, like in Delhi, Mumbai, in these metropolitan city, you will have no difficulties because Indian know how to speak English, right? Uh,
Yes, yes, definitely. I would say that, oh, a lot of places in India, especially the bigger cities, you study in English. From what I understand, a lot of schools have studying in English. So the English standard is pretty good, I would say, in most of these big cities. Obviously the smaller ones, it's different. There's different levels of money, and yeah, the wealth in these places is generally, unfortunately, suffering in comparison to the big cities.
but nowadays, even a smaller one city is not behind. Yeah,
That's
at
good.
least you will find few kids who can make you understand everything. What are you going through at the moment?
That's amazing. That's something quite incredible, because in England, very lazy. You do learn a language in school, but you don't care. Like, you're not paying attention. You don't ever think you're going to need this language. We're quite ignorant in that sense, I would say. I don't know a single. Oh no, unfortunately, we have no more time.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you. To see you, and I hope to speak again.